Good afternoon, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today, Rapid Fire Tips and Tricks on how to take Genially to the next level. My name is Conchi Ruiz. I'm part of the Genially team in the US. And a few weeks ago, I was chatting with my friend, Kathi Kersznowski, and she came up with this brilliant idea of bringing together a few of very creative educators and let them show whatever they like best about Genially. So that's what we're doing today. For those of you who don't know Kathi, Kathi is a technology integration expert and consultant. She's a keynote speaker. She's a Microsoft expert, and she's also the co-author of the book, Sail the Seven Seas with Microsoft Education, that I highly encourage you to check out. And she's gonna be running the show today. So welcome, Kathi. Thank you so much. We're honored to have you.
Thank you so much. It's such a joy to be here to celebrate people that I really admire and a tool that we all really admire. So there's a lot of love going on, and there's going to be a lot of happiness and enthusiasm and fast-paced wow today, because that was the idea behind this. So yep, I'm Kathi Kersznowski. Conchi gave you a bit of an introduction. I'm coming to you from Southern New Jersey in the United States, and I've brought together a bunch of my best friends who are also Genially ambassadors. When Conchi and I first talked about this, our idea was, or my idea that I pitched to her and she kind of liked, was instead of a how-to webinar, because Genially puts out so many of those and they're wonderful, but let's have an idea fest. Let's pow, 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 rapid fire ideas coming at you. So people who maybe have seen the tool or haven't quite seen the tool, it's just tons of ideas. If you haven't seen the tool, you're sure as heck gonna wanna use the tool and use Genially after this. So that's the idea. We're coming at you fast and furious. There are 7 of us presenting, so 6 of my friends, and they come to you from around the world, as you'll hear when I do the introductions for each person and learn where they're from and a little bit about them. They are all ambassadors for Genially. So we are people who love this product. We walk the walk, we talk the talk, and we embrace creating with this awesome tool that makes us look good. Here's how it's going to work. We have 7 presenters. Each one has 7 minutes. I have a timer here, and I will be using this to keep track. So everybody only has 7 minutes. If we can't get through all the things we planned in 7 minutes, we're cutting it off and going to the next person, just because we promised you this would be an hour webinar. We're going to get you out of here in an hour. So grab a notepad, get your finger on the print screen button for your computer, whatever your thing is, because you are just going to get a treasure trove of ideas coming at you rapido, as my friends would say. And I'm going to start sharing my screen now, and I will begin my 7 minutes as soon as that happens, which I'm going to shrink this down, I believe is now. Yes? Start. Okay, so I'm starting on my Genially dashboard, which I wasn't going to do in the beginning, but I realized since I'm the first presenter, in case there's anybody here who's brand new to this, I just wanted to show what it looks like when you first come to the Genially dashboard. This is the magic button, create a Genially. And once you do that, you are met with so many choices for the things that you could create, from presentations to interactive images. You can see different kinds of infographics here, learning experiences, gamification, blank creation, social media posts, all of these things. And together, my team of friends and I, we're going to try to hit every one of those and show you great examples, or several great examples from each category. If I were to go into presentation to create that, there are a whole bunch of templates. Some are premium, some are free. There's plenty of fun to be had in here. If I were to pick a plain any presentation, this one kind of catches my eye here because we are all teachers. It will bring up a preview of what that presentation looks like. Look at the movement, how a Genially moves and flows. As soon as I show this to any teachers, there's tremendous enthusiasm. And if I click this, it will let me go through and preview the different slides. Let's say I did that. Let's say I really love this template. I can click use this template, and it will show me all of the slides associated with that template. I don't have to use them all. I could select all, or I could go through and just pick maybe a few that I know I want to use, and then click add. Whoops, I think I only added one. I just wanted to take a minute to show this in the beginning, and I promise I have some ideas. I have about 5 minutes left in my time. Oh my goodness, did I go back? Once it opens, actually, you know what? Let me skip. I'm just going to start showing them. All right, so here's my first one that I want to show. This is the coolest thing. The 7 of us collaborated on planning this webinar in a Genially. So I picked this template, which is so beautiful. It's a Genially webinar team planning. And let me just show you how it works as I scroll or go through it. When I created this, we just made a page for each of us to sort of plan how this was going to work. Guys, I didn't do anything except select this template and change the text. Genially is doing all the work. They've made it beautiful. They're making me look good. And we planned the dates and times that we would do this, a little information about how this was going to work. And if I go through, you can see this was all done by Genially. We just filled in the blanks. And so here was a little bit, and we planned, because in Genially you can add co-authors or people who are collaborators on your Genially presentation. So we each took a turn to do this, and we outlined what we were going to do. So that's one use. All right, I have just under 4 minutes left. Here's my second use, and this one I use all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a template. I didn't put a thing on here except to change the text. And this is one that I made for my fellow tech coaches. So I lead a team of technology integration specialists in my district. There are 3 other people, and they've been working super, super hard. And last spring, I decided to send them a thank you, but instead of an email, I did this, and it looks very Harry Potter-ish, right? And this is how it moved. Right, so I just honestly, I filled in the text. That feather was there. You know, all of these things were there. I could change some images if I want to. I could animate them. This cool little hat comes and flies up. Look how beautiful this is. Different from any other presentation tool, wouldn't you say? And I love how these vials here are pulsing. Pulsing means that there's some kind of interactivity in there. And if you ever want to see what the interactive parts are, you can click on this and it will definitely show you what they are. That means if they click on this, it will take them somewhere else. Anyway, this was just something that magical that I shared with my fellow technology integration specialists, and it made me look really good. All right, I've got 2.5 minutes left about. Let me show you something else that's magical. I work with elementary school teachers. So you know right from the get-go, this was an attention getter. I had done a PD session for them on Nearpod, and the very next day, I wanted to do a recap of things that we talked about, but rather than doing that recap in an email or in Nearpod, I wanted to kind of showcase another tech tool. So I used Genially to blow their minds. And this is how this one moved. Again, I was putting in some elements. I have the option of adding as much or as little as I want to, but remember, Genially just has so many gorgeous templates, and it's really, the hardest part is choosing a template. Everything else just happens easily. Each of these little buttons that's pulsing is interactive, which means it will take them to other sites that I could link them to. So much better than a boring old hyperlink, wouldn't you say? And it just goes on to showcase some awesome features from Nearpod in a Genially. Guess what? The next week, my teachers were all using Genially, right? Who wouldn't after they saw this? Let me show you another one because I'm looking at my time. I have 1 minute and 34 seconds. This one I put together last week. The teachers in my district are going to have to start live streaming lessons, and that's very new to them and very scary. So the director of elementary education for my district, my boss, asked me to put this together. A helpful resource for teachers. Of course, I went to Genially, and here was set up for success, tips and ideas for how you can do live streaming. And again, this was a beautiful template that I just populated with a few goodies. So this slide I made from blank, and there are videos that I embedded here. This is how one teacher set up his classroom, and teachers are very nervous about that. So he made a video for me and I embedded it in there. And here's another teacher who created a video. And so this is just a great resource that was super fun to make. And boy, was my boss impressed. Oh my goodness. So much fun to make things with Genially that make me look this good. All right, I've got about 30 seconds left, so I will click over to another one because I wanted to show you that sometimes, if you know me at all, I do love my social media. And they have some fun social media posts like this one. This is just a template. I did almost nothing to this except I put this little question prompt in here and I put this out on Twitter and I got great responses to this. And here was one more. Hey, everybody, smile. You want to have a really great Monday? Oh, I should have changed this to Tuesday. That's a great social media post. So interactive social media posts. Oh my goodness. And my time is clearly done. So I will stop sharing. And next in line is my friend, Manny. Manny is a technology integration specialist. Also, he's a tech coach. He's a tech wow from Texas. He's got high energy, super enthusiasm. He's electric in everything he does. That's the best way I can describe Manny Curiel. And Manny, if you want to say a few other things about yourself, you can include that in your 7 minutes, or you can just get to it. I'm going to start your timer as soon as you start screen sharing.
Okay, don't be taking minutes from Maker. Okay, I have my timer. Hi, Manny. I work in Sci-Fair, helping teachers. And I'm like, ready for this 7 minutes because you are going to love Genially. Alrighty, so let me share my screen first with audio, I guess. And I'll start my, all right. So who likes boring resumes? No one likes boring resumes. Like it's just paper and Word. So this is a template that I have in Genially. And look how sickening this looks. It looks, amazing. Look, it has my name and it doesn't move because it's like a micro site in there. But it has the little buttons. This is a video that obviously is not loading because of the internet or whatever. There you go. So I have my little speech. I have my resume, my little video interview. I have all my expertise and stuff that I have, everything again from the template, like Kathi said. I don't take credit for all of this. I put my badges because you'll see what the template looks like. And then and in my portfolio, I added some of the things that I've done and I linked them in here. And I also added, you can embed a Genially inside another Genially. That's kind of odd, but you can. And look, you can even embed a Wakelet because I had way more things to show. So if I'm ever looking for a job, like look, boom, I can have even more resources in there, right? So look, this is a template. When you go into personal branding, you have tons of free templates to choose from. And they have the little star thingy, then you have to pay for that. But you have unlimited. Did we even say that it's free for reals? All right, so look at the template. It really tells you exactly what to add. We don't take credit for this because it's laid out for you, right? Okay, 5 minutes. And then from here, I think is and then from here, we have LMS called Schoology. And you can embed a Schoology in here. So this is a GIF that is gonna let my teachers go into the one-stop for all tech, right? So you notice that it was a GIF. This is an infographic that I started from scratch because, can say white is not my color. So I move, so it's like super engaging. They will click on the main menu and then it will take him to a different Genially. They're just individual Geniallys that I put it together and then it kind of looks like a website, but it really is not a website. And then from here, because you saw that the other one was an infographic, this is more like a slide. Then from here, we'll go like, well, I want to learn some apps. But they have a whole variety of things that they can do inside Schoology. And it's not loading, but whatever, because I'm looking at my time. Okay, then from here, they'll pick something. They'll go like, for example, for WeVideo, and then I have all the stuff that I want them to take a look at, and then they come back. So it's like kind of like a mini site inside Schoology. I also have like an actual class embedded in here that they can navigate through here directly inside Schoology, or you can take a look at like my actual website, which is where all this is going to be from, mannycuriel.com. But I think in the chat, I'll put the actual link that takes you to the sessions tab. This is the video that is going to be recorded. So yes, we talk super fast. So come back and watch us again. Okay, gotta go back. So from here, look, I have this little robot that I embedded that is like, super cool. I have the same class right here that is just a link that it takes you to the actual Genially. Or look at this. Look at this. You're going to be like, OMG, this is amazing, right? So you can embed it directly into a website and you can navigate here if you want to. I also have like a little flyer that I did for a live session. Look at this. It is amazing. It moves. I just love it. It's so cool. So anyway, let's go back and take a look at the little robot. So you can see that you can actually navigate it from here. You know, I have the organized little buttons. And then if I wanted to, which it wouldn't be really helpful, but you can actually put the videos in there, but it's really small. So let's go to my, it's this one. From here, you can see that I have the edit and I added the invisible area. If you go to the interactive elements, you can drag this transparent thing, like it's like a mystery that you can embed a link or a window, kind of like what you saw on the little pink little dots right here. So I shaped them in a way that it will cover the picture, this little icon, and I added the link to the video. So cool. So everything was already done. I just fill out with my information and boom, done. There, goodbye. All right. Then I also made flyers in here. You can tell that I have that mystery, like see-through kind of thing that it's in here, that I have stuff linking it. And you can also download this as a PDF. I have a minute. So this could be a PDF or it could be an interactive little flyer that you can have that it's where the links are live. All right. Then here, what did I show you this? Oh, look, this is all video presentations and I love this. I'm gonna have time. So I'm like, I don't want to do a video. I want to do a presentation still because this is a class that I'm working on, right? So no worries because Genially has jump back. You click here on your navigation and you say, no, girl, I don't want a video. I want to be able to do a mini site or macro sites that will take the little arrows away, or if you want to just do a standard, which is what I have. And I have time. Yes, I have time. So this is mind-blowing because you're not limited to the templates that are just for presentations or just for videos, because you can change them to however you want to. Then you also have this magical button right here that you can change the animation of the transition. I love that they're like very unique. It gives you a preview here. If my computer will only work. Come on. There you go. So you can change them however you want to. You can change it for one slide. 25 seconds. But take out the vertical or the horizontal. I like the flipping back, which is what it does. And you can do it on one slide or to all the slides. 15 seconds. I got it. I can even gift you 10 seconds. Okay, hello, goodbye to my next presenter.
I promised you, Manny was a ball of energy and enthusiasm. Clearly, he loves this product. Hello, goodbye, as he says. And he also says, yes, all the time too. So that is our friend Manny, definitely a Genially enthusiast. And now I'm going to hand it off to one of my favorite people on the planet, Gloria Enrique. I know Gloria, she is, oh gosh, she's a little bit of everything. She's an MIE expert. She's originally from Spain, living in Ireland, teaching Spanish to English/Irish speaking children at an all-girls school, and she just does amazing things. She's super creative. She's great with graphics. She's a kind person, and she loves Genially, and she has created some things that are going to blow your mind. So I'm going to stop talking, hand it over to Gloria, and once she shares her screen, I'll start her 7 minutes.
Perfect. Thank you, Kathy. That's very kind. And I'm going to start sharing my screen now. And share computer sound and share. And I'm going to press my start for the 7 minutes. And I'm just going to start talking about some of the things. One of the things I really like about Genially, and some of you have commented already, Manny and Kathy have commented already, is that everything is ready already there for your template. And especially now that most of us have to redo lessons because we are doing online classes and things like that, it's just perfect because it saves you a ton of time. And only that, it looks really, really good. Like, for example, this lesson plan that I created here for my first years. And it is really cool because you have everything planned already for you, everything divided. They even have an initial quiz for them to check. I'm going to just show all the slides in one go. There it is. So you can see you have all the questions there that they can try just before when they start the lesson. The lesson is there. I'm going to check this one here. So for example, you can see I created a table there and I have my voice so they can check after for the pronunciation, or just if they need to slow down or just to go faster. It is everything there for them to check. What else we have? As Manny say, you can actually embed.
In general, we can say
my voice. You can actually embed Geniallys as well inside a Genially. So just to make it a bit more interactive. So there it is. I created a little of vocabulary there, and they have sounds there for sound clouds that I embedded as well. And it's really easy to make. And again, it's all in the templates, and you just have to fill the templates. Now, I created also a picture. So from a blank template, you can create as well Geniallys. So I got a picture, I set up as background, and I added little Flipgrids I embedded there to add again a bit of voice and a bit of text and a bit of pictures. Anything is possible with Genially, and creativity is there for you. And I think it's very good as well because it can create a very nice project for your students. They can create that for you and share it with you. Another thing that I created, something very similar as well, is just a little of a challenge for students that they can do now that they cannot leave the house and they are still in lockdown. So a lot of things there, like you can embed YouTube and GIFs and virtual field trips and more YouTube, more songs, Google Maps, everything there for them. Just with one click, they don't have to leave Genially, they don't have to leave the app that you gave them. Is everything there in one place. And I think sometimes it's very good so the students don't get distracted with other things they can find in the way. I'm sorry, I'm talking very fast because I'm conscious of the time. Something I really love of Genially are their games templates. You can create amazing experiences, learning experiences for the class in just seconds. And it's just so beautiful design and so easy to create. And they are really nice. The students really have a great time when they go. And there is one of my favorites, is the Escape the Classroom type of game. In this case, Help to Rescue Christmas. And there are all the missions that the students have to create. There are 6, and when they finish one of their missions, they will get a letter, in this case, that they will have to keep until the really end, until they complete all the missions. And in this case, one of the missions, I embedded as well other websites in it to make it a bit more interesting, even though, and that's something very important, keep checking the templates. Every time, every week, there are new templates. I just saw one with word search that I really want to try. So just keep checking the templates, because every week there are new ones and really, really interesting ones. So don't forget. So now I come back to the game. So every time you pass your little missions, you get one letter until you go to the really end of it and you enter your little code there and you get your digital award. So now, next one, this is another game that I love, board games, really good for the class. I tried this in breakout rooms with a group of students for each breakout room, and it worked really well. They really like it, competitive and everything. And as you can see, all the elements are interactive, and every time that they go to one of their places, they have little questions that they have to pass, and really interesting, really good for the class. Now, sorry, I still presenting, yeah. Now I'm moving to the next one. This is something I really like because lockdown and online classes have been very difficult for the students. And I think that sometimes it's very nice to send little messages to them. So for this 14th of February, I created this one that I will share with them. And I'm going to show you now how to share, because that's the amazing thing. It's so easy to share these lovely graphics. So
Gloria,
I think that,
you're not sharing your screen yet. Can you share again?
oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I think I pressed something before. There it is. I am sharing now. Thank you. Sorry. So there it is, a lovely little card that you can share with your students, and it's actually really nice. And how can we share this? I always say sharing with your students, and that is very easy, but how do you do it? In a ton of ways. So when you create your Genially, you will have there a little link. You go there, little icon. So you can actually get a link and copy it, or you can actually insert as an iframe or embed it in your website. You can send it via email. You can share it in social networks. And my favorite, you can share it straight into your Google Classroom or into your Microsoft Teams. So that's easy. As well, you can copy the link and just put it into your OneNote, as I did here with one of my calendars. Sorry, this is too big. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, so this way we can see. So that's my school calendar. I put it in my teacher diary, and I have my calendar there interactive and ready to go for the rest of and it was as simple as just pasting my Genially link into it. Oh, that's the end for me. I think I saw nearly everything. And there it is. And I will stop sharing my screen now. And to the next one. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Gloria's amazing. Isn't she so cool? I mean, her designs are beautiful and her students adore her. Clearly, she's so motivated and she makes learning fun. I know Gloria is, I know from talking to her a lot that she does lesson design with her students in mind first, always. They're the focus, and then she finds out about their interests and she tailors everything she makes to things that they're interested in. And she's just an extraordinary educator. And don't we all want to be in her class with that kind of energy and that talent? Speaking of energy and talent, oh my gosh, the whole panel's like this. Our good friend Seth Fuel is here. He's the next one in this lineup. He is my dear friend. Sometimes I call him my soul sister because we have so much in common. And Seth is my good buddy he's from Texas, also like Manny. And he is also a technology integration specialist. So he's all about teaching teachers and helping teachers and students about ed tech tools that make learning engaging, fun, and just awesome. So I think he attended one of my webinars about Genially, and boy, did he just take that and run with it, because now he's outdone me. He's a dynamo, and he's here to show you some things that will blow your mind, and I'm so excited about the things he's going to share. Seth, I'm going to hand it over to you. Once you start screen sharing, I'll start your 7 minutes.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you so much, Kathy. Let's see, let me get my screen. All right, here we go. And hopefully now you're able to see my screen. I'm just going to move this out of the way for me. All right. So yeah, as Kathy said, my name is Seth Fuel. I do live in the Houston, Texas area. Manny and I actually live super close, but we like never see each other. So we love learning from each other. It's awesome. Yes, I got started using Genially actually from watching a webinar of Kathy's. Which was just hysterical. So like one of the things that she was showing there is right off the bat, like search for a template. And I was thinking, okay, well, what should I do? So I searched for a Jedi because I'm a big old Star Wars fan. And so I searched and let's see, it'll bring something up. Yep, there's the Jedi list right there. And I'm thinking, okay, what could I do with this? And we were coming up. We were doing some webinars. Let's say it that way. And so we were talking about how could we create something for our teachers because we're district level. So how could we create something for our teachers to share out with their kids about how to have best practices and whatnot in their in their virtual meetings that they were going to have. So it was like, okay, this is perfect. I can do this. There's like 6 little bullets, make it a lot of fun. It's Star Wars. It's Yoda. I love it. So I changed, the placeholder text to advice for becoming a Jedi Microsoft Teams meetings. And there's other things that you can do. Like let me just click on the preview here. So hopefully that I'm just going to make sure that my window shows correctly. Yep, perfect. It's showing just fine. So when I preview it, you can see like all the different things that I've got here. So when I hover over Be on Time, I've changed this using my little Bitmoji and everything else to like give my best tips, like be on time, be prepared, check your tech, etc. Be presentable, check your surroundings, dress appropriately, and of course I used all of my Star Wars Bitmoji because I was having so much fun with this. So I wanted to show that, but also the little plus button here, you can have different things here. So I decided, well, what would I do? Let's put a little Yoda quote in there. It may not be a real one, but why not? So on time you must be, and then a little my own description. No one wants to be that person. The one who's always late, no matter the start time, be on time. And there's other things as well. Mind what you have learned, save you it can, etc. Just a little bit of fun. But you can also, I haven't seen this presented yet today, but you can click to show the interactive elements. So if you've got those kids that maybe need that that prompt, like what do I click on? Where do I go? Click on this show interactive elements, and it'll show you what is going on there. But this was just a template. This was something Genially did all the hard work. I added a little bit of the interactive, and I added my Bitmoji and things like that, but nothing special. This one is another template. This is a bio card. So Manny showed you a really awesome resume a little while ago. I'm totally doing that, Manny. I'm stealing it from you. But this is one of their About Me templates. And so, yes, don't use the force for evil. I love that. Let's do it. But this is one of those templates that is so easy to customize. So I literally added my name. Hello, I'm Seth Fuel, and I should have probably said howdy because I'm from Texas, right? It tells a little bit about me, give myself a little blurb, and then all of these, I can customize these with links. So like when I preview this, you'll see, but like as I added some actions to make it just kind of float in a little bit. But like if I click here, that actually takes you to my Twitter. If I click here, that takes you to my YouTube profile, or hey, here, you can email me, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. Great way to connect. And being at the district level, it's all about the connections. You need people to be able to find you, and you need to network with other people as well. So let me switch over to the next tab. This is another one that I did. I just made it a little bit of fun, right? So I wanted to have a little bit of fun with my different affiliations, I guess you could say. So I made my own card. I didn't find a template that I liked here, so I used a blank template. And then I just added images, I added text, I added some actions and things like that. And when you click on a image or something that you've put in here, you get the option to kind of change your interactive actions or your animations that you've got going in there. So it was super easy to create this template. This blank slate. I just drug in what I wanted in there and made it how I wanted it to look. Now, as we preview, you can see some of the actions as well. Like you'll see my text slide in, and then Flipgrid and Genially kind of scroll in there, and the little Wakelet robots holding my hand. I had a lot of fun making this, just to be fun. And again, we can see the interactive elements, like things that you can click on. They take you to the sites that I interact with on a regular basis. So I thought that was a great way to showcase like just kind of who you are. Maybe have your students make a card about them. At the beginning of the year, create something that says, "Hey, this is me." Introduce myself to my classmates, etc. Now, one more thing that I wanted to do here. This is an example that I'm actually working on right now. We are doing, at one of my campuses, we are doing a virtual family night. And so this was another example. I searched, I searched in the panel, I searched for baseball templates and things like that. I didn't find what I was looking for. So I'll just click back over here. I decided to create it myself. So I searched for stock imagery, copyright friendly images and whatnot. And I added them as like a background here. And then I added elements on top of it. As you add text, Genially has some great templates. Like when you click on text, these little cards right here that you can add in. I liked this one a lot, this awesome title right here. So when I click on it, it adds three different elements here. Actually, 1, 2, 3, there we go. I added the little white box with the transparency. This is a placeholder for a video that I've got. Then I've created this sort of like Inception kind of thing. It's not a template per se, and it's not a presentation in Genially, but it's like this interactive image that links to another image. So I kind of call it Genially Inception because it's an image that links to another image inside of Genially, and it's just fantastic. So let's take a look at page 2. So like on this one, from on this virtual family night, we're going to have, at this time, we'll be talking about reading, and here's the grade level, etc. And then at 6:20, we're going to click right here, and we're going to go over to the next meeting, which is math for the next 20 minutes, and then science for the next 20 minutes, etc. But one of the really cool things that made this so easy to do was when I click on this, and by the way, Manny was showing a little bit earlier how he used the transparent squares and then layered an image on top of it. Yeah, it's really easy to do, and you can group them so that they all stay together, right? So when I pulled up my animations pane, I want to show you one of the most awesome things that I love, because these all have the same actions on every page. So instead of doing this 9 times, I just come right up here, I do it once, and then I click on this copy animation actions. And then, so I click on the next one, the next group, and I click paste animation values. It's fantastic how easy it makes it.
1 second, Seth.
Okay, no problem. I am actually done. That was perfect timing. So one last thing that I wanted to say was, in your if you're looking for inspiration, join the groups. Whether you're on Twitter, search for Genially. If you're on Facebook, there are some great groups. I saw my friend Agnieszka in the YouTube chat. She's got a great group in Polish. There's one in English. Just join. So many ideas, so much fun. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pass it back to Kathi.
Woo, that was fun. That was so much fun. And I'm so thankful to all of you who are showing these little tips that I kind of wished I had time to show in my beginning, but it seems like you're covering all of those anyway. Like any object you insert in a Genially, how those little animation buttons and the interactivity buttons and the choices that you have. And I appreciate that so much. I also totally appreciate that Yoda made it into this webinar, because that's just very, very cool. And Seth is a superstar. When he told that story, he was in a webinar I had done, and it was one of these hour-long webinars, but I gave people about 15 minutes to go play and then come back and show. Seth made that whole Yoda thing in 15 minutes. Like I told you, it's that easy, and people really just take to this. So thank you so much, Seth. And now I see that my friend Becky Keene is here. So Becky and I have become best buds in a big way over the past year or two, because we co-authored a book, shameless plug. So here is our book, Sail the Seven Seas with Microsoft Education. And Becky and I live on opposite coasts of the United States, but we managed to get that book published. And we actually, a couple of people on this call are featured in that book, right? So, oh wait. Yeah, okay, sorry, Becky, you're going next. Okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. So yeah, Becky is amazing. She lives in the state of Washington, so she's on the opposite coast. I work as a Microsoft training, a trainer for Microsoft global education training partner. And in that regard, Becky is my boss. So she's my co-author, she's my boss, but most important, she's my friend, and she's an exceptional presenter. And so we just needed her energy and her vibe and her intelligence and her wisdom and her creativity here to be part of this. And I went out of order because Maria was supposed to go next, but Becky's a consummate presenter, so she's going to pick this up and run with it. Right, Becky? Sorry.
Yeah, I was over here like, well, I can be next. Totally fine. Thank you, Kathi. No problem at all. And then you can end with Maria, who's completely amazing. So let me share my screen and we will talk through some of the things that I have to share with you today. All right, so here we go. I love building something quickly and genially. I think that's been well covered this morning. I am going to just show you 6 of my very favorite things I've built recently that I am constantly wowed at how I don't have to do the hard work with Genially. And I know that's kind of been a theme this morning where people are like, this was already made. I just had to click. So the first one I want to show you is family trivia. And I'm going to show you first in editor mode, even though it's really most impressive in view, which I'll show you too. But the reason I want to show you the editing mode is because holy cannoli, this would have taken me hours in PowerPoint. And let me tell you, I'm a PowerPoint aficionado. Like I can whip up a PowerPoint, but this would have taken ages with all the hyperlinking and animations and, which answer is correct, which answer is wrong, play a sound, all these things that happen. And Genially has that built in. So I grabbed this trivia game template straight from Genially, straight from the template library. All I had to do was fill in the question and the answers. And then I filled in some feedback on the right answer, and voila, I have this fun little trivia game. It was so crazy simple. Let me show you what it looks like when we're done. I'm going to click start here, and then these animate in. I made this as like a family trivia night, right? We're all home. People are doing trivia nights over Zoom and over Skype and whatever with family members. I thought this would be fun to have kids generate a family trivia show. Like they could build one for their family and do a family game night. So let's say they met at a hotel. And it dings and it says good job and it checks off that one's been complete. We move on to the next one. Let's say we get this one wrong. We're going to Texas. Oh, sorry. That was the right answer. We're not really going to Texas. This is all fiction. Let's see. I'll try to get this one wrong. We do not enjoy steamed cauliflower together. Oh, there we go. Wrong answer. So then I can go back and try it again. Now, again, all of that is built right into Genially. I didn't have to add in all these different animations, and it takes just so little time. In fact, I will tell you all, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and she had a project for school that she had to create a game for other kids to play to learn more about her selected topic. And I showed her this template and I said, darling, go make a Genially. And so she used this and modified it for her own school project. And the kids had a blast playing it together in her class. Took her no time at all. Here's another sample. This one is a vertical infographic. And I love to use this template to tell a story. So you pick maybe 2 characters in a book. Maybe, they could just be friends. It could be a love story. It could be a family history. And this allows us to go through and pick out some of the pieces from that story. It could be historical fiction. It could be a biography. This could be about, a world leader. Lots of different opportunities here. And again, because Genially builds this in, I have these hover tips. I have opportunities to hover on this content and see the little additional details pop right up. I put in my own images that I found freely available on the internet. And I could modify things like color and font, but it's kind of got this old quill look, which makes me feel like this would be a great Harry Potter reference for Kathy's Harry Potter earlier on. All right, I'm going to show you another one. Here we go. This one is a memory map, and you could do this two ways with kids. You could do it either somewhere they've been, like their town. Certainly not every kid has a chance to travel and travel widely. Some kids in the districts that I've worked in, it's a high need area south of Seattle, Washington. A lot of my students had never left their city. And so this is something you could do again in your city. It could also be somewhere that kids have been. I call it a memory map. So this happens to be London. And I go through and I use the interactive image template and I add in little pop-up tips that explain what happened in that part of the city. So we've got geography skills, community skills. You could do this for a place in your own community where kids are pointing out maybe places they've been, places they want to go, a favorite restaurant they've eaten at, a park that they've been to. It could be even as simple as planning out where they would like to go someday on a trip and why. Then we can add cost, right? An Excel spreadsheet, a OneNote notebook. We can embed this in a sway and have all of our kids tell their stories about where they'd like to go. So many possibilities. All right, here's another one. Vertical infographic, again, looks completely different than the other infographic I showed you that was the story, right? The history story. This one is informational. Let me just zoom in a little here. I built this one at the beginning of remote learning. So almost a year ago now, isn't that crazy? Just kind of giving some tips around, how do we get started with remote learning? And I used the Genially template. So all I had to do is come in, change a couple of icons that are built into the Genially icon library, add my own text, and then I added a little read more, excuse me, that links to Teams for Education, the education launch page for education. And I just put this out on social media and kind of, let people know we're here to support you during a time that was new for so many people. I've also used Genially as a presentation, like many of the people on the call have today. I last year went through my ISTE certified educator process, which is a year-long process that ends in a portfolio reflection. And so I used this fun unicorn infographic to show, presentation template, unicorn template graphic set to do my portfolio. I didn't have to add in fancy buttons. It came with a table of contents that allowed me to just drop right in the outline elements that I had to submit. It was so incredibly easy to get going with this. Something that allowed me to give really great graphics, again, with very, very little effort, because all I had to do was plug in the details that fit me, plug in the details that fit my information, and submit. I did pass, by the way. I don't know if this portfolio had to do with that, but it was definitely effective for its purpose. So I would highly recommend checking this out because it's so much fun to make a presentation in Genially. The last thing I want to show you is this Q map, and I won't take long on it because I'm at the end of my time, but I do want to point out that these little pulsings that Kathy pointed out, I know at the beginning, those kind of signify our eye, hey, there's more here. And so we built this as part of a project with my team at I2E to talk about social cueing and what to look for SEL with students, like to be paying attention for students that don't have the ability to understand social cues just naturally. And then each of these links, of course, go to an article to help us learn more about that topic. They actually go out to the web. So there's 6. I have a link I'm going to post into the chat. I'm going to stop my screen sharing. And I'm going to post a link to a Wakelet into the chat so that everyone has access to my all the samples that I showed you today are curated together in one nice little Wakelet. All right, back to you, Kathy.
That was so awesome. One of the things I love about Becky, and she always remembers to do, and I should take some cues from her, is that she shows great case uses. Like she talks about, oh, this is how we can do this with students. This is how this could play out. Here are some other options to tweak that. Here's how you can make this really meaningful and impactful for students. Here's what you can have students do with it. But then look at the very end. She's like, and here's what I did with my business team. And here's how we used it with a group of adults too. And it's impactful, it's engaging, it's animated, and it's easy. And I think we just all keep saying that. And just Becky just gave us six great examples of that. Whew, and that was awesome. All right, poor Maria was supposed to go before Becky, but I messed up because I was looking at the wrong place. And Maria has no idea how much I love Maria, I think. Like, she is incredible. She is this creative genius that doesn't even realize the superpower that she has. She is a friend that I have met online through the Twitter community. She's from, I told you we were global. She's from North Macedonia, and she's a teacher there. She teaches English, and her English is beautiful and probably better than mine. And she's a creative genius. I had the pleasure of learning about how Maria, I'm going to tell you this because it comes into play with what she's going to show you. Maria she literally from scratch creates all her own graphics. And I've never seen this happen before with anybody. And it's just this super talent where she showed me once that she uses shapes in PowerPoint and she layers them on top of each other. And she creates all of these graphics, most of which you're going to see in the presentation she's about to share. And it's incredible. I wanted Genially to know about her because I think she's just such a talent, but I think she's also got a great talent for sharing Genially and bringing in awesomeness in ways that I could never have thought of. So I'll stop talking now and let me turn this over to my friend Maria, who will wow you like everybody else has. She's amazing.
Thank you, Kathi. So I guess Kathi is my #1 fan, but I did learn about Genially from Kathi. She posted something on social media and I said, what is this? And I have to check this out. First, I need to set my alarm. It's set, and now I am sharing my screen, also the computer sound. And we start with Teams, Microsoft Teams. And the first thing that I will show you is my Bitmoji. So when the Bitmoji craze started, I wanted to create a Bitmoji, but I wanted to use Genially. So this is my Bitmoji, which is embedded into my Microsoft Teams in a channel. And what we have here is, most importantly, our ebook. We also have our stream, Microsoft Stream channel, where I post video lessons. And we have a whiteboard that we can use for the lesson. So this is my first Genially that I wanted to show you. So here, students have the basics for each lesson, the book, a whiteboard, a video lesson. And as we go on with the lessons, this cloud will be populated with interactive dots like this one, where I'll share lessons resources. The second thing that I most like about Genially are this square social media templates. Actually, this is not a template, it's a square template, which is bare, it doesn't have anything. And what I have created here are some badges for students. And not only that, in Genially, these badges can have a background sound, like, for example, an applause. And I have created a lot of badges. So this is brainstorming, and you have a storm, naturally. And this is a bookworm, so you have a sound of pen writing. And then you have an explorer, you have some sound of space, and a researcher, a sound of lab. So these are the fun things that you can do with Genially. You can add sounds to your Geniallys. That this is a sound of a light bulb. And another thing, I think I had another one. Oh no, this is the last one. So what I do with these badges is I simply select the link. I just copy the link and I go to my OneNote notebook. So this is a class notebook. It's a real class notebook. This is a real student who has done her homework, a second-year student. she has done her homework, and now I'm going to give her a badge for her great ideas. So what I do is just paste the link of Genially, and as you see, it embeds inside OneNote. And not only that, you can play the sound inside OneNote. Another thing that I really like about Genially are the presentations. This is a presentation, but I only have one slide, and I only need one slide because all the things that I need for the lesson are on this slide. So the best thing about Genially are not the animations and not the graphics and not the templates, but the things that you can embed inside and make a whole presentation very interactive. For example, here, this is a lesson for passive voice. And what I've done here is, first of all, I've added a video. I've embedded a video explanation where I explain how passive voice is created. And as you can see, the video is played inside Genially. Students don't have to leave the slides in order to watch the video and see the instructions of how you can make a passive voice. The next part is I have embedded a mind map of all the grammar tenses that they will need. So this mind map is interactive. They can zoom in and zoom out and move it around. They also have a Padlet where they can practice creating passive sentences out of active sentences. And you know, when you use Padlet, you don't have to use text. You can also use voice and also draw or create a video or a screen recording. The last part is I have embedded a Flipgrid where students would record a video using passive voice. So that was my presentation. And now we go to infographic. This is an infographic on learner styles and apps that you can use for different styles of learners. And here I suggest some apps for my students. For example, if you're a logical mathematical learner, there is a nice app that's called Infogram for creating infographics. If you're a tactile learner, you go to MergeCube and so on. And naturally, if you're a visual learner, you use Genially. And the last part that I wanted to show you is some of my old PowerPoint presentations that I was able to upload to Genially, and then I was able to animate any part of that presentation. So if you go to Genially Dashboard, and if you import a PowerPoint, then every part of your PowerPoint presentation, which is a different segment or a different object, can be animated. And also, of course, you can embed things like this is an infographic for prepositions. So you have, how do you pronounce this preposition? And then what's the meaning of that preposition? It takes you to a visual dictionary. And we have the second part of the same infographic, but all this was created into PowerPoint and I just uploaded it to Genially. Here you can see more animations in the houses and as well here. So if I just zoom in, no, that wasn't it. If I just zoom in, you'll see that the clouds are moving and the windmill is moving. And I did that just by uploading my PowerPoint presentation. And you can see this best at this presentation because it really looks like a presentation. And I can open up my real PowerPoint presentation. So this is the PowerPoint presentation. The fun part is that this is like, let's say one part, this is another part. And when you put them together and you put them into Genially, you can animate them and you get something like this. So my time is up and I will stop sharing.
I told you she's amazing. And I hope that you were paying attention to all those little pictures in there, you know, that the house from Up and the pirates and all those badges she made. She literally designed those by layering shapes. Oh my gosh, she's so amazing. That is why actually Maria is one of the people Becky and I featured in our book. And guess what chapter, which letter C she went into? Creativity, because she is just a maestra of creativity. And speaking of things that start with C, our last presenter is my friend Conchi. So Conchi is the 8th C. Here, we'll make you the 8th C. And Conchi is an amazing, amazing person, an advocate for Genially, so sweet. Conchi works for Genially, which is based in Spain. So she's another one of our friends who's global and international. She lives in the United States, but she is supporting educators and all of us. And she's the most approachable, wonderful, energetic, lively, adorable person. And we're so glad to have her on with us as one of the Super 7 to share some things that maybe the rest of us didn't have a chance to even show yet. So Conchi's going to close us out. Take it away, Conchi.
Thank you so much, Kathi. I'm really amazed at what everybody showed. It really proves that Genially is what you make it. You know, you can use it in so many different ways, in so many different situations. So it's great to see how everybody adds their personality to Genially. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you. I mean, you've shown so much already, but I'm going to try and add something new. So the first thing I wanted to mention is like, you know, you have plenty of templates in Genially, but I don't know if everybody knows that there's an inspiration section. So this is what you're seeing right now is my dashboard, my Genially dashboard. If you go to inspiration, you're gonna find tons of examples that you can get ideas from, okay? So these have been created by other educators, by other Genially users, and they're shared here for everybody to see. You can search by, you know, education, corporate, or type the words that you would like. And even better than that, the ones that have this little blue flag on the side with the arrows, that means that Genially is reusable. So somebody created that Genially, and now you can use it as a template for your classroom. So you can reuse that resource and make it your own as well. And I'm gonna show you why, how very quickly. And I saw a Genially here that I like is Black History Month. So I saw this Genially for Martin Luther King. So as you can see, if it is reusable, you will have this button here and you can just hit use as template, and this will open up in your dashboard and you're able to edit it, you know, just reuse that activity. So it's pretty cool. I thought I would show you that. There's so many things you can do. You see, so that template that somebody else created, now you're able to edit and reuse as your own, okay? What I'm going to do now, I'm gonna show you a Genially of my own that is going to summarize what everybody else have said today. And that's how Genially is really a universe of possibilities for the classroom. So this is a really cool template. It's called, I think it's called Universe, okay? And it kind of summarizes how Genially can help you in your day-to-day with distance learning or with in-person learning as well. So you can use Genially to explain the concepts, you know, in a very engaging way, very digestible for your students. One feature that I don't think anybody has shown today is that you can create a whiteboard with Genially. So you could add this pencil functionality to any Genially and create a dashboard, okay, a whiteboard, sorry. So you can kind of write, and I see this, my daughter is in 1st grade and I see her teacher using this type of thing for math. So you can do this with Genially, okay? That's something you can add to any presentation or activity that you're creating. Another thing that you can use is connect with your students, okay? So we saw how Gloria added audio to teach Spanish to their students. So you're able to add your audio, and I'm not sure you're gonna hear this. I just added some quick audio here. But anyway, that's something that Gloria showed before. During distance learning, many teachers ask us to include that audio functionality in Genially because it was very helpful to add those instructions or those tips for the students, okay? Genially is the best way to motivate, and there's nothing better to motivate than a little game, a little gamification. And I'm gonna show you another example for gamification. This is a blocks or Lego style game that we've created. We're gonna play, okay? So hide and seek, start the challenge. So pick under the blocks to find the photographer. It's a little memory game, so you have to pay attention to whatever shapes are behind the blocks, under the blocks, okay? So I hope everybody got to see a little, okay? And now I found the photographers. So you have to take your guess, and I'm gonna say this one. But apparently I did wrong, so I'm gonna try again. And here we go, congratulations. We have found the photographers, and my team is gonna drop the link in the chat for this game because it's very cute. I think everybody's gonna like it. So as you can see, gamification always adds a lot of fun and engagement in the classroom. Discover, I don't know if everybody knows, there's a Genially Academy. So if you type in Google Genially Academy, it's a place where there's free courses on how to use Genially, and not only on how to use Genially, but also courses on training, on design, on different subjects that are very interesting for everybody. We give you a certificate when you're done with the course, and it's all free. So I highly encourage you to take a look in there as well. There's never stop learning with Genially. Integration, you've seen how you can integrate other tools within Genially. You can integrate Twitter, Google Maps, you can integrate so many things, Flipgrid videos or Wakelet collection. This is a Quizlet flashcard. And you can also integrate Genially within other solutions like Microsoft Teams, like OneNote, Google Classroom, your LMS, Schoology. There's so many places where you can take your Genially and still show it interactive. So that's another important element that Genially can make your life easier. And then the sharing, I think Gloria showed how to share Genially in different places, so I'm not gonna do that again. But I'm going to share with you a promo code, okay? So we're gonna raffle a couple of plans with everybody that is watching today. But I also have a little promo code. Genially is free to use, and there's a lot you can do for free. There's a lot of templates you can access for free. But if you would like to upgrade to the EDU plan, to the education plan, here's a promo code for everybody that I hope you will take advantage, okay? And I think that's all from me right now, just to thank everybody to be here. And I'm going to go back to Kathi now so that she can also say goodbye, okay? Thank you so much.
Kachi, that was the perfect wrap up. You covered everything that maybe the rest of us didn't hit or didn't think of. And it was just a great way to send people off, giving everybody who was here 20% off the premium plan. So generous. So that was every attendee here gets that. And I don't know if everybody heard, but Kachi said that after this, she's going to take a list of the attendees and the good folks at Genially are going to put them in a random spinner and pick 2 names who will win a free premium plan, and they will contact you via email if you registered for this in advance. They have that information, and they'll be reaching out to 2 people, which is amazing. Guys, we went about 7 minutes over time. Ironically, there are 7 speakers, so I'm going to blame that on me because I know what I did. I gushed about everybody a little bit too much in between when I was doing introductions, but how could I not? I had to gush about everybody here because look at them. They're all amazing, and they did just such a great job bringing it here for you today. Again, our intent was not to show you how to use Genially, although I think you picked some of that up. This was a pow, 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 rapid fire explosion of ideas that we hope you go away and you just can't wait to create. That was our goal. We're glad you joined us today. Thank you so much for coming. And please share with us when you create on social, or share on Genially Inspired Facebook group, share on Twitter, wherever you can find us. We want to know what you create as a result of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.